Hey, Darren, how you doing?
Good. What's going on?
Not too much.
I think we just went live right now, so we should have some folks coming in, joining us. It just took a while to, I guess, get going.
What do you mean going live?
So our Zoom call is being live broadcast through our Facebook page.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah. So hopefully, people who are people that subscribe to our Facebook page will see us going live and join in. Oh, I need to add the link on the live feed. Let me do that real quick. So our Zoom call is being live broadcast through our Facebook page.
Oh, really?
I hear your 10-second delay there.
Yeah. So it's good to have headphones. Subscribe to our Facebook page.
I'm trying to figure out how to mute the. Oh, there you go. Never mind. No, I had the Facebook page up at the same time, and then it was feed. There was I was getting feedback. Oh well. Anyway. All right. Oh, this is almost just a typical Pathfinder meeting.
Yeah.
Got twice the population, I think.
Man.
So Heath, how's life treating you now?
Man, I'm just sitting here waiting for this hurricane to come in. You know, it keeps threatening to rain.
Is that the same one David was filming earlier?
Yeah.
Oh, were you? Yeah.
Well, we got some of the outer bands a little while ago. So we had some good rain and some good gusts, but it's kind of cleared up. If I look out to the southeast, I see another line coming.
Yeah, it's been a couple of days in Chicago, and we were driving around. You know, the way the news is, you would think that there was, you know, people just running around shooting their guns and you know, everybody was out. You know, there's like a beach there, and everybody was out jogging around. You couldn't park on the beach, but everybody, you know, you'd park across the freeway and walk over, and I saw the big Columbus. You know, everybody was. They had a whole massive, you know, cop force out. You know, but other than that, you couldn't really tell. We were staying in Naperville, and you know, everything seemed normal, but you know, that night, you know, on the news, there was like a massive shooting one night, and then the second night, they took down that statue. So yeah, it's hard to try to reconcile the media and what's really going on. So
it's a pretty big city. I think a lot of that stuff is down the south side.
Yeah.
We here's a story. We went down there to Chicago. I forget what we were doing down there, but it was with a couple of friends of mine, and they were huge. You know, they were like 6'5" and about 300 pounds apiece. Not necessarily in great shape, but just huge. And we got lost and ended up in Kemper Green. I don't know if you've heard of that before. It's a big housing project down there.
Oh yeah.
We were terrified, you know.
Hey Jim, your microphone is kicking in and out.
How's that?
There you go. There you
okay. But at any rate, so we got lost and we finally had to stop and get directions, and that was at Kemper Green, and we couldn't find anybody. The place was empty. And we finally found one person, and they gave us directions out, and we said, well, where is everybody? So I don't know, you probably scared them away. They said anybody crazy enough to come down here that's white, you know, there must be some trouble.
Yeah.
My
Anybody
youngest is going to go to school up in Chicago. So he's fixing to head up there. Probably the end of August, I guess. We're still kind of, the whole COVID thing is still kind of getting worked out, but
Where's it going?
Columbia College. It's in film and art school. It's in the downtown area. So it's right by the kind of the cultural center of the city.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that downtown area is very it's very lively. You know, you come here to downtown Houston, and there's nothing exciting in downtown Houston, but there's a popular, it's kind of like a hardware store or a furniture store. It's called the Restoration Hardware. My wife she insisted on going to this one. It's in downtown Chicago, and they had a restaurant in the middle of it. It was you know, for a lobster roll, it was $30, and it comes out as a little bitty thing, and probably just had a couple pieces of lobster, and the rest was butter and bread and a little cheese platter, and but she had a great time, you know, so that's all that matters. Yeah.
It's an expensive city too.
Yeah. And who we got on down there? Shit.
Oh, hey boys, it's Tom. Sorry, how you doing?
Real good.
Hey, how are you?
Doing well, doing well.
It says Shelley.
Yeah, that's my wife's name. It's
No.
her, it's her account. It's just easier for me to jump on that instead of switch over.
And where are you from?
I'm in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Oh, great. We got a bunch of Texans on today.
Yeah, they're just all over the place, man. You can't get rid of them.
That's not bad.
I think they breed like rabbits down there. So you guys getting a little bit of rain down there, though, huh?
Yeah, well, it's threatening to here in Houston, you know, but I so far all I see is sprinkles, but it is kind of dark out. So,
Well, Port Aransas got hit.
Yeah.
And then in Galveston, the houses down by the beach are up on stilts. And so you either got to swim or have a boat.
Man, we're just full of excitement today, aren't we,
Oh,
fellas?
yeah.
Full of wisdom, huh?
I don't know what the deal is, man. I don't know if we're just having an energy surge or what. Maybe we need to get up. Maybe we need,
Gone on vacation or done anything that, like, I mean, you just got back from Chicago. Did you say that was business or was it personal?
yeah, it was just business. Yeah, but I'm thinking we need to get up and do some calisthenics. You know, maybe Jim.
Curls.
Yeah, you can start us with some jumping jacks and.
I'm doing curls.
Yeah. I'll join you.
I was gonna say that's gonna be a hard pass from the Nebraska land here. Well, you go ahead and do that one without us. We'll be here for moral sport.
I got the cake.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do a push up or two these days. I can't think of the last time I've had to do something like that.
Been a minute.
We had which is hot. It's hot up here right now for us, but we had our suicide awareness for veterans walk this morning. And so everybody shows up in their silkies. Any prior service knows like Marines wear these really short shorts. Well, the Army, like Rangers and SF, we call them Ranger panties, but they're entirely too short of shorts for any grown, self-respecting man to be wearing. You know, but they always made us wear them in the military. But we did this walk to raise awareness for veteran suicide today, from the Capitol down to like the Sunken Gardens or whatever. And yeah, I haven't pulled those out in a while. And let me tell you,
Still fit?
Well, I think they shrank. It's the damnedest thing, you know. So.
That's funny. So how far are we talking?
I only went 5 miles today. So, but it's like a thing where they just walk continuously throughout the entire day.
Okay. Gotcha.
It's more of an excuse for guys to walk and drink beer together, but
There you go.
out there. So,
Man, only 5 miles. You lost me at walk. But
well, nobody said I was smart. So, if you're doing it and drinking beer, you really lose track of the time. So.
I used to live in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, and they used to have these. They were like you could run or walk or whatever, and you'd run through the forest, and they had beer stations at every one. And by the time you get to the end of it, you're pretty beat. And there are very few Americans. Most of them were Australians or Brits or Dutch people, but. Malaysia is so humid. It's worse than it is here in Houston. And by the time you get to the end of it, you're ready for a banana bag. The medics to IV you up and rehydrate you. But that was I think that was the last time on record that I did any kind of physical exercise. I think that was the reason why I quit doing exercise. It was traumatic.
So, what does anybody hear about Kemper? That's what we're supposed to.
So we've got somebody else on here, John Moore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah.
Feel free to join us on audio or video whenever you get a chance, John.
Yeah.
Well, I don't mean to be the Debbie Downer, but we lost an old boy yesterday. She was in the class above me. Her name's Tara Lynch. Lost her yesterday. She was battling ALS for several years now. And I think she was in a treatment facility, like an actual, I'm not exactly sure everything, but apparently she contracted COVID and we lost her.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I guess if it wasn't COVID, it was going to be something else. ALS is just nasty. It's a nasty disease.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And I know there's I think she was the class of '98, and there's a lot of old girls from around that time. They were all really tight and real close. Even once they got well out of or kept in touch after Kemper and everything. She was a hell of a lady.
Where was she from?
I want to say up Illinois, Chicago-ish, or maybe not Chicago, maybe south of Chicago or something, but I want to say Illinois. Sounds right.
It's a class of '98. So
yeah.
What was the last class to go through there? Was 2002 or?
Yeah, something like that, I want to say.
Yeah, 2002 or 2004. I don't remember.
No, 2002.
Oh, 2? Okay.
2002.
So, Jim, you're in Boonville?
Huh?
Are you in Boonville?
No, I'm in Fort Worth, Texas.
Oh, okay. You're a Texan too.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. But I get on, there's a Facebook page, this town we call Boonville or something like that. And I put a picture on there yesterday. I went after the war, the big war, World War II. It ended in 47, and that was my last year there. And Kemper had their first spring break since before the war. And we had a train trip to the West Coast, and some reason I knew one of the young ladies that had worked at Kemper as a secretary, and she moved to San Francisco, and I had sort of a date with her. And I had a picture of me in my dress uniform, all that good stuff. And I've been trying to ID her. I couldn't remember her name, and nobody knows her. But I got a bunch of likes. So if you want to see some stuff about Boonville, it's called, I think it's called This Town We Call Boonville.
Now
I'm
you
on
said,
that.
You're what?
I'm on that.
Oh, yeah.
It's-
Did
yeah.
you see my picture?
No, I haven't seen it yet, but I'll go back and look.
Okay.
now you said you had a friend that you had invited to the call. That lives in Boonville? I don't know what that was.
Make it stop.
Oh, well.
I think I'm gonna have to boot him.
Sucia, culo, cabeza de pingo, folla, negra, olor a mandarina, pelotuda, cajetuda, hija de.
I think that's a Zoom bomb or something.
Yeah, I think so. I just
No boy from
booted him.
Cuba.
Oh, I didn't even know there were such things.
Yeah, you can password protect your meeting, but it kind of hardly works
Yeah.
well with something like this.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
that's
is that what
interesting.
is that what this other one is? The Jonathan? Yeah, Jonathan?
Shadow time. Yeah, it might be. I don't know.
Guess I'll
Yeah, they
boot that
haven't
one.
they haven't
Rodrigo.
yeah.
Is this other? Yeah, Shadow time. Yeah, it might
Uh-oh. Somebody's got their audio going
Okay.
on.
You know, I'd heard of that kind of stuff happening, but I wasn't. Who are all
My
these
God.
people?
Oh, they're all
It may
We're
have
getting
found
bombed.
Oh man.
Oh man, no.
Where's our IT guy, man? How fast can you?
Apto para menores de edad. Busca tu distinguida edad.
What the y que digas completo.
All right, come on, David.
I guess we're gonna have to password protect them going forward.
Your mom is a bitch. Check out the chat.
That was funny.
I'm still going.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh
Man, it says 66 chats. Oh.
Okay, I think I got everybody for now. Let's see what happens.
Man, so, oh, there's another one.
Oh,
Dave,
Well, that was fun.
Oh, here's a legit one, maybe.
maybe he's showing his face. You know, boy, sir, we just got Zoom bombed.
How you doing?
Great. How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Who do we have here?
I used to. My name is Reggie Walker. I used to be a TAC officer back in the '90s at Kemper.
Oh, yeah.
hey,
You were he was in charge of the of all the equipment and
In quartermaster, yeah.
quartermaster. Yeah.
what are you doing?
Great. How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's good to see you.
Glad to see you. Who are you?
Well, back then I was Cadet Coles.
Who?
Cadet Coles.
Oh, Darren Coles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what's up?
Hey, hey, how we doing? How we doing?
Doing well.
Yeah, we were just invaded by a bunch of what is it? I don't know what we call them, a virus or
Mexican hackers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was we had a bunch of cumbia music playing.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. So how's everyone doing?
Oh,
Well,
Right. I caught in when you was talking about Tara Lynch, and I saw that on Facebook yesterday, and I was kind of off for a minute.
Mm.
Yeah, I remember her.
She's very special girl. She was cool as hell.
Hey, you look familiar.
Yeah, Tom Johnson.
Hey, I remember you.
Hey, Kelly, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. Good to see you.
You. Glad I was able to make it this time. I didn't mess up the timing or anything like that. So.
Hey, Flores. Looks like you got one on here. Oh,
yeah. Gotta boot him.
Jesus wants to go.
Bye, Jesus.
Both parties. Shouldn't we be in Colombia for that?
So, Callie, what class are you from?
99, but like halfway through.
Oh.
Yeah. And then when did I leave? What was it, like 2000 or something like that, when they were going to shut down the school, like the first time?
Oh, I didn't know there was a first and second time, huh?
Yeah, we had a major fundraiser. Tom, were you still there at the time?
No, I graduated in 99, so
Yeah.
I'd already gone by then.
Yeah, we were basically told that they were funneling money and they were going to shut down the school. So me and like a couple other people, I think like Rockaberto and like 3 or 4 other people, made cold calls trying to raise money. I think we raised $750,000 in about a week.
All right.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And so we were able to keep it open for a little bit longer. And then I think they shut down in like 2001, 2002 or something like that.
Oh, wow.
But I did part of the community college there as well.
Mm. And where are you from?
Well, when I started there, I was living in Houston. And then now I'm in Dallas.
Okay.
Another
a lot of
Texas.
Dallas people on here. Huh?
Hell yeah. Not from Texas originally, but
I'm from Fort Worth, Christie, from Forney,
yeah.
which is,
As they say, we got here as fast as we could, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Sergeant Walker, where are you at now?
I'm in Louisiana.
In Louisiana. What year did you leave Kemper?
I'm thinking what, 98, 99, 98, 99. I think I was there when Ridgely, when Stewart left and Ridgely came. So I was there either before then or after, because I know after that, around that, I'm thinking 90, 98, 99. I can't remember really.
Got you.
Can't remember. So how you been doing, Mr. Flores?
Been all right. Yeah, since San Antonio, so you got another Texan out here.
That ain't bad at all. I was in San Antonio. San Antonio's a good place to be. I was there in February. We had a RTC came down and did a little staff ride at the Alamo and all that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a military town. It's a tourist town. It's a cool place.
I enjoyed it. It was pretty nice. It was pretty nice.
What part of Louisiana are you in?
I'm in the northeast part by Shreveport.
Okay. All right. Good deal. Wow.
You say in all these cities that every time I go to San Antonio, Austin, or Shreveport, the time I spend there, I don't particularly remember. Kemper trained me well.
Is it that bad?
No, it was that good.
I have a question for it. I have a question for the group. Now I'm thinking this is probably for Flores and Johnson. So how's life been after Kemper? Was Kemper a good thing, bad thing? I'm not talking about the overall experience, far as I'm not talking about the Bearish life. I'm not talking about that, but far as was some good fundamentals established with you, or did it make your life a little easier? Did it give some type of foundation, or was it a waste of time? How would you really classify that?
Callie, you want to go first on that one?
Go for it. Go for it.
Before we get started,
I will remember this.
Before we get started, you see Rustin Curry just came on. He was in the original group Nilly Vanilli. So. Hey, Rustin.
How are you?
You're doing well.
I say newbies go first.
Yeah.
Well, you were in Kemper in '99. I graduated in '91.
Saying it's easier when I was there. I think I was borderline. They were still flinging the shit at the lunch tables. So
I guess sorry, Walker, if this will you'll remember this guy too, because I just know you will. So when I graduated, I enlisted in the Army because I knew I wasn't quite ready for college yet, so to speak. And then I was when September 11th happened. I was at the very end of my first enlistment, and I was like, well, back out now. We just got into a fight, or whatever. Anyways, years down the road, I'm in 10 Special Forces group serving. I come out of the gym. I just got back from a school or something. And I have this awkward run-in with this guy walking into the gym as I'm walking out. And we sat there and stared at each other for 10 minutes. And we're trying to place each other. And I'm like, "What the hell are you?" Because by then we had been, I didn't know if I knew him from previous in my military career or whatever. It was Sean McCaffrey, who was a major. And I was in charge of the dive locker. I had no idea who he was. I had no idea we were in the same Special Forces group. I mean, we're a small ass community. There ain't a lot of us, but I sat there and I stood at him. I was like, it took me about 10 minutes to figure out who the fuck he was. So it was funny as hell.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know if it helped me good or bad or gave me some narcissistic point of view or whatever, but I don't know. I guess I didn't do too bad. I mean, all things considering. So
that's one thing I'll send down by Kemper is, I noticed by Kemper is it makes you strong. If you have any type of weak issues, it brings it out and you have to either overcome it or you're gonna lose that battle. So it was a good experience though. It was a really good experience.
I tell everybody for me, it was the greatest lesson in diplomacy, in personal diplomacy that I've ever had. Because, you had guys from all over the country, all kinds of cultural backgrounds. And, we ran the place. So, we had to figure things out and we had to make it work. So for me, that's the biggest takeaway is learning how to work with different kinds of people and try to keep the peace and keep everybody moving in the same direction.
That's true. So, especially I think too, you had two arenas. You had the high school and you had the college. College was pretty much on their own, but the high school, it was constant overturn, and the old boys pretty much ran it. The Olivers, the Dixons, the McCaffreys, the Kevindys, the Shaq, the Urso, and that group right there pretty much ran the high school. So it was kind of crazy back then.
I will say Sean and we were talking too, and I think he was a company commander at the time, and one of his dive teams had a few guys we were training up for school down in Key West, and he just came up and nobody knew that him and I were actually like childhood friends or whatever, and that was kind of a weird dynamic. But we were talking, and a bunch of people gathered around, and we were like, just talking about our experience at Kemper, and we're like, most SEER school was a significant emotional life-altering event. And for us, we're like, shit, our childhood was harder than that shit. I mean, it's like you want to, bitch, please, we'll be all right, So
you're right. Yeah, especially the new boy year and everybody's coming after you. Especially it's like the new boys. It's like Some old boys were on them like sharks. It was just amazing how crazy it was.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Bloody waters.
It was crazy.
The only place in life you're like, you have 14-year-olds fucking telling you what to do, and you're just like,
oh yeah.
It set me up for motherhood because now I have my 6-year-old telling me what the fuck to do, and I'm just like, you don't know me.
But then overall it wasn't that bad. During that time frame, it was so crazy. But as you think about it after years, it wasn't that bad. You got Sloan and Gatewood, they're doing their thing, and you had the Franks doing their thing. That's Simone. That's Simone, and it was crazy. It was a good environment. It was great. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
So we had Simona Cosfield join us. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself? I think you're on mute.
You're on mute.
And she might be
Sorry
driving
about
too.
that. I did. I thought I unmuted. How's everybody?
Hey, Simone.
Hey, Simone.
I started working in Kemper '89. I grew up down there playing around with mules and different things. So I was going to go to Kemper. It was never a threat for me to be sent to Kemper Military School. They couldn't hold that over me. I graduated, I guess, '92 from the junior college, and then I quit working down there in 2000 and went full time with the prison. I still work for the Department of Corrections. I still live in Boonville, so born and raised here, still down here. So,
and technically, you're still working for the Department of Corrections.
technically. Until we get laid off again or something, but who knows?
Kemper might as well have been Department of Corrections at some point.
For a few years, there was a couple times, yeah.
Totally was Department of Corrections.
School.
What's going on with you, Rustin?
I just found this thing the other night from Child's Play 3.
Nice.
That's awesome.
I borrowed it and forgot to give it back. I was showing my girlfriend that movie a few weeks ago, and the scene where the war game scene, and she's looking at me while that's going, and I'm mouthing the words to it. And she's like, "How do you know that after 20 years?" I'm like, "We were there for like 8 fucking hours." And then in the one scene, I'm right there next to the kid. That's the guidon bearer. And then like the next second, I'm gone. She's like, "Where'd you go?" I was like, "I said fuck that," and left. I think I went to like, was it Papado's pizza place or whatever? I just walked there. I was done with the movie. I was like, Hollywood sucks.
Where did they film the war games?
So they filmed the war game briefing on the quad, but the actual war game itself was filmed, I don't know where. It wasn't at Kemper.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think so.
And at the time, I was in charge of the MPs. Everybody wanted to be a company commander. I wanted to be the MPs because I thought it'd be cool to have my own Gestapo. And I remembered if there was a girl that I liked and she had a boyfriend, I would make sure that kid had a lot of demerits so he couldn't go out that weekend, and I was there for her. Like I said, I graduated in 91. I got there in 89, right out of basic training. I was a week late for the first week. And when I got there, everybody thought that I was a narc because, I was like squaring my corners and saluting everything. I'm like, yeah, a narc wouldn't really be the guy that's squared away. I mean, I'm just saying. Did anybody remember Savusa?
Yeah.
So I was an aide de camp, and I ran into him in 2008 in DC at AUSA, Association of the U.S. Army. And I was with my boss, 2-star general, and I made him come with me. Well, I talked to Sergeant Major Savusa, and we talked for like 30 minutes, and my boss was getting all antsy and pissed off because, I worked for him. And then I made him take a picture of me and Savusa. I still talk to quite a few of my classmates. When I first got to Texas, I'm in San Antonio, and I got here last July. I ran into Sean Smith. Steve Sussner lives near Austin. Who else? Gosh, there's a few old boys in Texas.
What class were you?
Just a few.
91. Yeah.
So that was my first I got there in '90. So, and I'm thinking, were you class with Reed, Lombard,
Yeah.
Aaron
Lombard,
Lombard.
Clifton,
Yeah.
Ryan Clifton.
Vaha. Was it Vaha?
Yeah.
Tony.
Vaha.
Yeah, and that Heath Neville's guy.
Joel Babbitt. Joel Babbitt was the sole Mormon in our class,
Yeah.
and he says he's going to retire, but he's the highest ranking cadet from my class. He's a senior colonel right now.
Wow.
Babbitt?
Yeah.
Babbitt. Name don't sound familiar.
He was a redhead Ranger Challenge guy, kind of nerdy, but he was a really good dude.
Babbitt.
Very
so
nerdy.
Wait, so that was a class with Oatman, right?
Yeah.
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 Because I was looking online, right? There's a lot of former cadets are full birds. I'm thinking Oatman, the Himmler brothers, Flesh,
Fletcher.
So Babbitt right now is in. He's a signal officer, and by virtue of his MOS, he's senior. I mean, if he decided to stay in, he'd be a general within 18 months.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
I saw Sonny Mullins last year at Fort Knox. She's a lieutenant colonel. And I told her, I was like, when you guys commissioned in '91, I enlisted in the Marine Corps and was a Marine for almost 12 years. And I've caught up with you, and I'm not that good. So what the hell?
Cool.
I remember her. I remember her. Ain't bad at all.
Yeah, it's a good couple of years for Kemper.
Yeah, it was.
A lot of
Tell me,
grass.
tell me something. What was a TAC officer? Were you in the Army or?
Yes, I was. I was in the Army back then. And TAC officer, it's kind of hard to define. Ask Mr. Flores or Mr. Johnson. They could tell you because they knew when we was coming and when we was leaving or what was going on. So ask them. Pretty much. Yeah.
Acronym, I believe, stood for Training and Control.
But you were in the military department.
Yes.
Okay.
I was in ROTC. Then I got out of the Army. Then I worked for the school as a TAC. So I did that for a minute. Then
Let's say you did that several years, Reggie.
Yeah. I did that for a while. Then I ended up in a quartermaster, and I ran quartermaster. Then I think they brought in Chris Cannon to replace me, and that was my out right there. So
TAC is train, assess, and counsel.
Something like that. I'm thinking it was a babysitter. So we took it as a babysitter.
Yeah.
It was a babysitter. So anything had a problem with anybody, cadets or anything, that was us right there. I'm thinking we had a good group. We had Gatewood, Sloan, the Franks, the Delaney's.
Yeah.
It was Simone. She was there for a minute, and we had a good time. It was crazy as hell. It was crazy as hell. Because
Does anybody remember officer? What's his name? Daryl Shively, Boonville PD. He was attacked there for a while.
Yeah,
I remember. Yeah.
Charles Shively.
I would love to apologize to that guy. We treated him like shit.
Yeah, Boonville PD also.
Yeah,
he was. Yeah, he
was. And then doesn't he work in Prairie Home right now? Or did he retire?
He's retired right now.
I'd love to give that guy a bottle of whiskey and a big hug and just say, I'm so sorry, man.
Me too.
He cut us some slack though a couple of times.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, I was gonna say there was a few times.
Yeah.
He was so nice. I remember the shoes that he would wear. They weren't like military issue shoes. And he was like trying to talk to me about something. And I was like, dude, what's with your shoes, man? And he looked down and I was like, God, I was a punk. I'd like to go back and punch myself in the face. And then I was a summer camp counselor the year after I graduated. And my God, I've been in contact with a lot of my campers. I remember this one kid, they had formation at like 7 in the morning for breakfast, and this kid comes strolling out of the bathroom at like 7:03, and I made him go to breakfast in his towel and his flip flops. And then one night I told the kids, don't sneak out. Do not sneak out in town. Don't go drinking. They'll beat you up and it'll be a mess. And I saw this one kid, and I was standing with Shively, and his feet dropped down from the window of K Barracks. And I was like, hey, stupid. And he froze. And Shively shines his light on him. And I'm like, hey, idiot, I can see you. Come here. And then anybody that snuck out, I went in and I destroyed their rooms. And I made everybody else stand at stand at attention outside of their room. And when everybody came back, they had to stand at attention. So the lights came on when somebody came back, and they're like, dude, get away from me.
Sounds like summer for sure.
Oh, yeah, it was
when
fun.
drinking was fun.
I think I was the only one in the high school at the time, because for some fucking reason I decided to go to Kemper at 17, and they're like, why the hell are you here? You can sign yourself out. And I was like, I don't know. But then I became like the legitimate runner to go to the store, get all the cartons of cigarettes. And so that worked out really well for me. And this like fucking kid, of course, I mean, this is bad because I was 17, selling cigarettes to kids. But he sat there and he narked on me because I was we had a shortage and like there was no cigarettes any which way. And we were telling him like, it wasn't like $5 a cigarette. You were like bumping it up to $20 a cigarette. And he got pissed, and so he narked on me. So I got a shit ton of hours on Bullring, but luckily I was friends with like Waddell and Jackson, and so they would like write off my hours for me. So yeah, good times.
I don't guess any of these kind of shenanigans went on when the gyms were in school there, huh?
Yeah, some of the names are a little different, but same stuff. That food was a big profitable thing too. We had Betty cooking for us, and
When
we had a
Dowling,
hot plate.
Betty Wolf.
Yeah,
Dowling won.
yeah.
Jim Dowling, when were you there?
I graduated in '78.
Okay, well, I graduated from high school in 45 and junior college in 47. And the junior college, we had a class of 7. And I hate to tell you where I was in the class. But I wasn't number 7.
We had 10 in our graduation class.
Huh?
We had 10 in my graduation class.
Wow.
I actually don't remember how many I had in my graduation class, because when everybody was walking, I was getting pinned in my room by Jackson and Arden and a couple of others. So I have no idea how many we had. Because if you showed up, they were checking if you got pinned. And so they were like, yeah, you're not going. We're just going to do it when they're doing the ceremony. So
I was going to say, I think high school when I was there in 99, it cannot be much. We were around 30 for the high school class, 30, 32, maybe 30. I don't know. It was
Student body was like 200 when I was there.
Student body was?
Yeah. Was it 5th to 2nd year college, I guess?
Yeah.
Did they have day students in the 70s?
No, but they had it like right after I graduated.
We say 78, 79, maybe.
Yeah, that might be right. I don't recall any day students there, but I heard people talking about it after I left.
We had a guy in our graduation. His name was Jeff Citron. He was a weird duck. Like the scholarship, big, huge football students thought the guy was a witch, so they were scared of him. And like somebody shoved him once in the chow hall, and he looked at the guy and he goes, "Bad luck, dude, bad luck." And the guy legitimately freaked the fuck out. Well, at graduation, they call Citron's name. He gets his diploma, and then he leaves, and everybody just kind of turned around. And no one's ever seen the guy since. I was like, was he ever really here? And I've looked for the guy since '92. I've looked for the guy. He's just gone.
Just walked away.
But nobody was surprised. Like they stopped talking. They didn't call anybody else's name. They watched him walk to the back of the gym, open the doors, and then when the doors closed, they called the next name, and everybody's like, "Well, that happened. That's typical."
That's funny.
That's interesting because I bet every class has that one dude.
Probably.
you say that, and I'm like, yeah, there's like dudes. I mean, I was there for a while, 4 years, so it seemed like forever for a kid or whatever. But I think every class probably had that one dude that just totally disappeared into nothing.
So I did mini semester to try to get into MS3 and 4, and I ended up getting dicked over, or not dicked over. I fucked up land nav. Eventually, when I commissioned, it almost happened again, which was kind of funny. But Jeff and I were there for mini semester, and he was smoking in his room, and he flicked the cigarette butt out, and it blew back in. We found the butt, but not the cherry. So we're downstairs in the dining facility eating lunch, and Jeff's like, "Wouldn't that be funny if my room caught on fire?" And then no shit, like 20 seconds later, the fire alarm goes off, and I was like, "Oh shit!" So we run upstairs to the second floor. First fire extinguisher, kick open his door, it doesn't work. Second fire extinguisher doesn't work. Upstairs or around the shoehorn, grab both fire extinguishers, neither of them work. Upstairs to the third floor, neither of them worked. We finally found one that worked, and we were going to get in a shitload of trouble. We're standing in the dining facility getting yelled at by, it was the Marine colonel at the time. That was
Colonel
Carlisle.
And he was yelling at us, I smell like smoke, and he's screaming at us. And I was like,
I remember that.
The fire extinguishers didn't work, sir. So I'm willing to let this go if you are.
Exactly.
I never talked about it again.
Well, yeah, because he was the guy that was in charge of like the ground maintenance shit, right?
His son was.
Yeah. Like, because I remember working there one summer for the ground crew, like mowing yards or mowing everything, and like doing.
I did that for like 3 years straight.
Yeah, it was.
I remember when I finally got, I grabbed the mattress and folded it and pulled it out of the window, and I was like above the cadets, the cadet lounge or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm on the roof of that, and I throw the mattress off the roof, and as it caught air, it blew up into flames. I'm covered in ash and soot, and I smell like smoke, and I was like, did that just happen? God, I miss that place.
I'm surprised.
I have dreams. I have dreams every once in a while. Like, I'm a major in the Army, like as of right now, but I'm back at Kemper as a first-year cadet. And I'm like, why are you yelling at me? I'm an officer in the Army.
Yeah.
Surprised there was enough of it to tear down.
It's more than just fall down. What are you drinking?
Yeah.
What is that? Bud Light?
It's Boston Lager.
It is happy hour.
Forgot about that. I'm sitting up in my daughter's room and I'm like, I should have a drink right now, but I don't. And I don't want to go downstairs to get one. So
I'm supposed to be writing right now. I'm a ghostwriter for a military fiction book series. And I owe the guy 8,000 words by tomorrow. But I was like, oh, hey, Kemper, squirrel. I'll just do that instead.
Good choice.
Boy, I can't wait to, send me a copy of your transcript tomorrow morning to see what you threw on. Yeah, you said
threw together.
I want to see what that looks like. Go ahead and have a few more beers though first, buddy.
It's always by word count. So like sometimes like I wrote this paper at Kemper and it was about procrastination. And she's like, this is a great paper. How did you come up with the idea? And I was like, 3 hours before it was due.
You're doing research.
Yes. I used to have this thing in my room on Monday nights at Kemper called the Gym Jam, where I would take the red Charlie Company t-shirt, put it over the lamp, and we would smoke cigarettes and drink beer. And I can't remember the dude's name. I think it was like Leffler. But when I was in Iraq in 05, I was talking about the Gym Jam. And somebody's like, we used to do that at military school. And I was like, what military school? He said, Kemper. And I was like, I went to fucking Kemper. What's your name?
What's your name? When did you go? Where are you from?
I started the Gym Jam. So I invited this kid to my room. Like, I was the first lieutenant. I'm like, listen, there's no drinking in Iraq. So if you get caught, this is Alcoholics Anonymous. You weren't fucking here. I will deny your existence and I will have you fucking killed.
Gym Jam.
I still do it. It's just me and a couple of friends. It'll be like a FaceTime call. But now that we're much older, it's like, at 9 o'clock at night and we have a couple of beers and then pass out. Because getting old sucks. The warranty's expired.
Check engine light comes on.
Right?
So does the check liver light.
Yeah.
I woke up last Tuesday night at like 3 a.m. with shooting pain in my foot. And I realized oh, I've got gout. That's perfect. That's typical.
You said you're in San Antonio now, Curry?
Yeah, I escaped from California a
Yeah,
year
I
and
was-
3 days ago.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say the last time I talked to you, you were in California.
Where are you at in California?
Ugh, the San Francisco Bay. Oh, that town Martinez that had the Black Lives Matter mural. That was my town. I'm like, this little town of like 16,000 people made national news. Fuck, I'm glad I got out of there. And like, when I moved out of Martinez, the black population decreased by like 20%. I'm like, there's nobody black in Martinez. It's a blue collar refinery town. I'm like, why are you pandering to these assholes?
I'm still laughing at you woke up with gout. That fucking blows. So like, I mean, they got medicine, but go ahead, explain.
My girlfriend's a travel nurse, so when she's gone, I use a sleeping bag, right? Because I don't want to make the bed. And I woke up because my foot touched the end of the sleeping bag, and I was like, I thought somebody stabbed me. Like I woke up ready to fight. And then I turn on the light, I go to the bathroom, and I'm like limping. I'm like, did I get shot in my sleep? And I look down, and my foot's like all swelled up, and I'm like, I got the gout. I used to make fun of people with gout.
I still
Now I'm
do.
one of them.
I still do, and now you're my target. But I'm afraid that this misfortune is gonna like be bestowed upon me as well. So,
right?
You know,
My doctor's like, cut out red meat and alcohol. I'm like, fuck you, you're fired.
Yes.
If I wake up,
I could learn to live with it.
And you get a nasty letter, know that I woke up and something was swollen that wasn't supposed to be, and I'm just mad.
It's horrible. Like, and my girlfriend's a nurse, right? So she's not sympathetic at all. She's like, well, so you're drinking beer, right? I'm like, well, yeah, but it's light beer. She's like, mm-hmm. I'm like, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. You're not a doctor.
Yeah. Next thing she'll be telling you it's COVID.
So that bullshit. I had to do a reserve appointment, blood draw, right? So I do a blood draw, and they come back a couple days later with, I'm COVID positive. I'm like, I didn't get a fucking COVID test. Fuck you, the fuck I am. So I went and got an actual COVID test, and like, oh no, you're negative. I'm like, yeah, fuck your numbers and fucking scam. But I do know people that have died of it, but it was because of, you know, advanced age and other issues. Yeah. Fucking scam. I'm so glad I'm out of California. Like, I left California like an escaped slave. Like, I got rid of 80% of my shit and blew off my vehicle registration. I was like, I'm out. And as soon as I crossed the state line, it was like 2:45 in the morning. I got out of my car and I flipped California off, but people were like honking and waving and shouting, "Hell yeah!" And when my girlfriend moved out, I got to do it again. And I'm like, it felt better the second time to say fuck you to California.
I understand that U-Haul will actually pay you if you move to California because they don't have anything there anymore.
Fucking idiots.
It costs like $5,000 to get a U-Haul in California. But if you're moving to California, it's like $1,100.
Yeah.
I did it the easy way though. I just got rid of half my shit.
Fucking hated it.
I was in California for 27 years, and I was in San Antonio 2 years ago when Prop 47 passed in California. And it was basically they voted against their own wallet. And I called a realtor here, and I was like, look, when I get to Texas, I'm going to get involved in politics. And if I have to run as an ultra nationalist white supremacist, I will. And the guy on the phone's like, and I was like, hey, dude, I'm black. That was a joke. He's like, oh, hang up on you. I got here and I ran for precinct chair for the GOP in my district. And I couldn't go because I had the flu or COVID, I don't know. But on my application, it said, over my goddamn dead body, this Texas turned blue. And the guy that was running against me voted for me. And I was like, oh, okay, that happened. And my daughter lives in California. And she's like, were you going to come to my high school graduation? And I was like, no, not at all.
So I got my dad's originally from a small town in Thetford, Nebraska. Like, this is the quintessential, like, ranching community, everything like that. And let me tell you, it's not as glorious as like TV makes it look like. It's nothing like Yellowstone.
I was going to say, hang on a second. Which TV show are you watching where it looks glorious?
No, it's not cool. It kind of sucks. Anyways, but my buddy, the poor bastard's been the mayor now for the last 12 years, and you don't you don't actually run for mayor. You get screwed by your buddies. It's an open.
Everybody takes two
Everybody
steps
puts
back.
that dude's name. And yeah, and it says, okay, no, you're the smartest guy we got. You're going to be the mayor. And it's like, fired. I could embezzle money and they wouldn't even give a shit, because they don't want to do it. So it's population town of maybe 1,000, and everybody knows this dude. He's like, God damn it,
And they just keep voting for him.
They keep voting for him, but nobody ever actually runs or put their name in for, to be this person. They screw him every time. Poor guy.
That sounds like some military shit right there.
Yeah. It's basically you get all volunteered by all your friends to be the mayor. That's it.
Hey man, you weren't here, so we volunteered you.
Yeah, you got to show up to every meeting.
Yeah. And then the town will be like, hey, we really need you to take a look at this, budget or the school budget or whatever, or we need to think about a bond issue or whatever. And he's like, I didn't even want this job, Poor bastard.
I don't know, man. I'd rather step in fucking cow shit than human shit in San Francisco any day of the week.
You have experience in both?
Yes. Last June, my sister came out to visit me in San Francisco, and I told her, I'm not going to pick you up at the SFO. She's like, well, why not? I was like, your flight lands at 7. I'll have to leave at 3:30 to get there in time to pick you up. I'm not doing it. So she got an Uber, and she was all mad, and she understood it because of the traffic. And then she wanted to go to Pier 39, and I was like,
did he
I'm
just
not
go
going to Pier
mute?
39. Me?
No.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Yes,
you.
I can.
Okay. So we go to Pier 39 on the ferry, the boat, not the person. And as soon as we got there, this dude's like, excuse me, would you like to talk about white privilege? I'm like, dude, it's Saturday. Get the fuck away from me. He's like, oh, you don't care about white privilege? And I look at him, I go, who are you calling nigger? In San Francisco. So everyone busts out their cell phones. And I was like, run, Forrest, run. And my sister's like, okay, we can go right now. I'm like, thank you. I told you I didn't want to fucking come to San Francisco. I hate that city. I hate that place. And I used to work in San Francisco. And when I was in the National Guard, I was at an armory in San Francisco.
Up
and
at the
it took
Presidio,
me,
or?
no, right by the zoo. It's the National Guard armory on top of a hill.
Mm-hmm.
And it would take me 45 minutes from either bridge to get there, even though it was 6 miles away. And in that 4 years that I worked there, I went out in the city 3 times, like not on purpose. I just there. And you remember that that Ebola scare where they wanted to send the army to go fight Ebola?
Mm-hmm.
So we had our unit was tasked with that. The 223rd MI battalion was tasked with that. And I'm like, we're a linguist battalion. They speak fucking English in Liberia. Why are we going? So the San Francisco Chronicle was at the gate and wanted an interview. And my NCOIC said, hey, sir, the media's here. I walked out there and I went, no comment, and walked back inside. And I got a phone call from General Dave Baldwin, the adjutant general. He's like, first of all, don't ever do that again. Secondly, well played.
Did you go to language school there?
No, I speak English. That's it. And I can order alcohol in about 5 languages. But I was the S3 for the battalion. Christy Roar.
I didn't do anything bad till after I left Kemper. I showed up, I think like my first month there, I was in one of Hopkins' classes, and somebody was, talking shit. So I decided to say something back, and they were like, are you talking shit to me? And I said, no, I'm being facetious. And they're like, do you think we're fucking dumb? Get on the bull ring. And and Waddell had to take me to the bull ring and PT me till muscle failure. And that was the start to my decline in my language. So I feel really at home with everybody cussing because nobody understands why I cuss so much, but you have to learn really fast and furious in order to, figure shit out at Kemper. So between that and my drinking habits and doing all the first time everything started at Kemper. So that was, yeah. Breaking into the nurse's office, getting Robitussin. What the fuck were we thinking the night before an exam? And by the way, I just noticed this is recording, so awesome. Whose idea is that? Whose idea is this?
Make a show
You
in
all
your
our
next
dirty
job
fucking
interview.
secrets, and you record it all. And I mean,
That's our
And
mission.
it's going live on social media, by the way.
yeah.
You only live
Hey,
once.
hey Flores, what are you cooking tomorrow? What's for dinner?
I'm not cooking, man. It's the weather's not conducive for it.
Not conducive?
Mm-mm.
Oh, come on.
Dude, I see you every Sunday throwing something out. Well, every weekend, maybe not Sunday, Saturday in there, but you're throwing something out there that's awesome.
It's usually Sunday.
Sunday.
We're looking for the next pork. What is it? Pork belly recipe.
I just started cooking that. That's good stuff.
Well, I like your smoker.
Yeah, my father-in-law made that. It's pretty nice. It's pretty. It holds heat. That's the big thing.
Yeah, I got a real cheap. I can't even remember what the brand name is. It's an offside smoker. But I got a. What is it? One of those welding blankets I throw on top to try to keep the heat in.
Yeah. I was gonna say when he was talking about gout, I'm thinking about putting a team together and calling it No Gout, No Glory.
It's bullshit.
It sucks. It's fun.
I got shot in the plate in Afghanistan, and gout hurt more. I felt like the biggest fucking pussy in the world. I'm like, this is bullshit, man. Military school.
I'm just glad to know that I'm not the only one who has gout or has had it. So thank you.
I'm gonna start a gout support group. the crawl for the cure.
Yeah, we can have a 5K walk.
Have someone else do it for us.
In your own wheelchair? Like,
Yeah.
what do you look like?
I am too old. I'm too young to feel this old.
It'd be a 5K limp.
5K, not all at once.
Jim, don't you love all this crying?
You guys might be onto something though. I'm telling you guys. Maybe what if you did just a gout cook-off or something? You know, and you make it a game to see who could have the worst flare-up by the end of the day. You know, we start early in the morning. We start with fresh side of bacon and whatever, and you just work through the day. And we're gonna.
I'm sure Jim Ewing is sitting there going, "What a bunch of snowflakes!"
Whoever has
he ate gout for breakfast during the war.
Things you're telling me about Kemper, we had none of that. I mean, if you got caught drinking or something, Colonel Hitch would have you down there the next morning and put you on the Greyhound bus. And send you
Your
on.
class would be gone. They would be.
What'd you say?
I never made it.
I said my entire class from top to bottom, they'd be gone for every infraction then.
Oh, well, we had very few problems. I mean, if you got in trouble, Colonel Hitch would have you gone that afternoon.
Wow.
I mean, it's like kids who had problems came to Kemper. That was the difference. Like they would be kidnapped and brought to Kemper.
Well, we didn't. I don't think we had a couple of bad actors. We had a guy from Chicago.
Oh, there you go.
Well, he was. What was his name? He later left Kemper and became a gangster and
Johnny Stompanato?
Johnny Stompanato.
Oh, you knew Stompanato?
No, I didn't know him, but my you know him?
How the fuck
Well,
do you know
we
him?
know of him.
Okay.
Well,
He was killed by an actress.
He was
supposedly killed him.
his the new boy across the hall from Johnny Stompanato was a friend of mine from Corsicana, and he was scared to death. He wouldn't even talk about it. He said, if they know my name, they're liable to come after me. And if Johnny Stompanato, he was a friend of Lana Turner.
And her daughter killed him, supposedly.
Well, the story is that the daughter killed him because she was younger and she wouldn't get charged so bad.
Right.
But Lana probably really killed him.
Lana Turner whacked Johnny Stompanato.
Another cadet bites the dust.
I'm reading through this. I never knew the dude.
I didn't either. It's fascinating.
Yeah, I was gonna say I never heard of this story before. Holy crap! This is.
Well,
then
there was the Greenlease murder guy.
The kidnapping.
Huh?
The kidnapping.
Of the Greenlease Cadillac dealer's son in Kansas City.
Yeah.
And
that was in the 50s, right?
yes. But it was not when I was there. We didn't have any. Stompanato was gone, and
Johnny had it coming. He was not a stand-up guy.
No, in fact, he had they tell, there was a story in the Chicago Tribune magazine one year, and the author interviewed me and several other people. I didn't know much about him. I forgot what I was going to tell you. Anyway, they wouldn't let the barber at Kemper cut his hair. They sent a barber down from.
No kidding.
To cut his hair.
Really?
That's awesome. The most famous cadet for sure.
Yeah.
Well, infamous, I guess.
Infamous.
Yeah, not Hugh O'Brien or
Will
Rogers or anything.
Hugh O'Brien's brother was at Kemper when I was there.
Oh, his brother was?
Yeah, I forgot his name. It's not, of course, it's not Hugh O'Brien. And we saw him one time at a Dallas dinner theater, and he really didn't have much time for us because he had a bunch of girlfriends.
Well played.
Huh?
Well played.
Yeah. Anyway,
I think Tyson, that the guy who created Tyson Chicken, went to Kemper as well.
Don Tyson.
Yeah.
He was there when I was there. He would
not give any money, by the way. Y'all note this. He would not give any money when we asked him to help save Kemper. So
Say again.
He wouldn't give any money when we reached out to have people.
No, he sure wouldn't. And his roommate was from Arkansas, or I think they're from what city in Arkansas? Whatever. And
well, Arkansas explains it. I'm just saying, if any of y'all are from Arkansas.
Yeah, Arkansas, but his roommate was from Arkansas. They lived over in D Barracks, and he gave. Later on, after Kemper, this roommate had cafe in that town where Don Tyson was. He gave him some stock in Tyson Foods
Oh wow,
and made a millionaire out of him.
nice.
Yeah, I think the only famous or kind of famous people that we had during our time was, well, we had a Rockefeller. So we had
Catherine.
Yeah, we had Catherine, and we had Jeff Hughes. What was it? Or John Hughes' son. What was it? His name was Jeff, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I used his ID to get into Aunt Heidi's.
And he was kind of a big guy to be doing that.
He was, and he was kind of white. So I here, you guys like, have a good time, Mr. Hughes. I was like, thanks, buddy.
And we had Sam Walton's grandson, or it was either his great grandson or
great.
Yeah. He was an Echo Light. He was a pain in the ass. And who was the senator's son? He was a senator from Louisiana. Had the pretty hair. Was always hanging out with that Rockefeller, Catherine.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forget his name.
Yeah.
Cessner? Steve Cessner?
No, Cessner was from Pasadena.
Yeah. No, this was yeah. Anyway, that was about the extent of the famous people.
You mean Farrell?
Brian Farrell?
You mean Farrell?
No,
Farrell.
I can picture him. He had spiked hair. He was real pretty. So,
What year was
We had Will Rogers,
oh yeah.
but that was before my time.
Yeah, that was before you.
And then the governor of Missouri, his son was there, Phil Donnelly, which he wasn't very famous. But he was governor, and he was governor while the son was at Kemper. And he showed up at military balls.
That's cool.
I have to go right, y'all. It's been great talking to everybody, but I got to get some words down, or I'm not going to make my deadline tomorrow.
All right.
Man, it's good seeing you, Russ.
Yeah.
Good
Take
seeing
care,
you.
everyone.
All right.
Talk to you next time.
All right.
care.
Take care.
Well, this has been a pretty good one. I think this is the best one we've had yet. What do you think, guys?
I think so too. Good turnout. Good stories.
Well, it's getting the fire started. Kind of the hardest part, but
yeah.
I had a Zoom meeting this morning. I retired from Price Waterhouse.
Oh yeah.
Which is an accounting firm, and we had a Zoom meeting this morning with a bunch of the old timers from Tampa, where the headquarters. I was a admin, not a client service, and we had 8 turnout and had 25 invited. So, but we found a guy with an account, so he's going to conduct the meeting next time, so we don't run out of time. We ran out of time in 45 minutes.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, we got Flores to get an actual Zoom account, so we all just kind of siphon off him.
That's good.
What do they charge you for that, Dave?
I think it's like $12 a month, something like
I was
that.
gonna say it's not much. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Oh, and I thought it was more than that.
No, it's not much.
Yeah.
I'm going to look at the price. I don't want to, as long as I can find somebody else to be the host. It's a lot more fun just to click on that link.
Click a link.
Well, we're hoping we get through this after November 3rd, when everything's back to normal, we can do something more exciting than our happy hours. But until then, I think we're kind of stuck with these things. But I mean, they're pretty good. We just might have to be a little more creative on the themes, I guess.
Let me,
I
let
didn't
me
know that
ask,
was supposed to dress up.
What's
Like,
that?
I said, were we supposed to dress up? I didn't know this was themed.
let me ask you something. Have you heard of this Echo company?
Yeah, we're well, some of us are more informed of them than others, but yeah, they're kind of. Are you in the Echo program?
No, I'm not. Well, I get their newsletter, but I had the outs with John Downs because he was has been on the case of the Alumni Association, and I mean his whole career has been down the Alumni Association, which is fine. And
we're not proclaiming to be part of the Alumni Association, and our mission's a lot, at least in our mind, it's a lot different. They're kind of the keepers of the past, and we're trying to keep the future going. So that's why we created the network. But
it's no more. I mean, you can't. The message board's gone.
Echoes is or.
Yeah, Echoes is gone. They had a really good archive of Kemper, history. A lot of firsthand accounts of a lot of the stories. Unfortunately, I think their website got taken down, like hacked or something.
Yeah,
they lost all that data or all that that archive.
Yeah, Warren Long, who I went to school with, from Shreveport. He's the president now. Originally was until he passed away. And
who puts together the newsletter?
Huh?
Who puts together the newsletter?
I think John Downs puts it together. He's the whole thing because I don't think anybody else.
Yeah, he does a good job with it.
Still getting distributed.
I haven't received anything.
The newsletter is still getting distributed.
Yeah, I got one, and it was used to be on not on Facebook, but on the internet side.
Yeah.
So did you get it emailed to you? I'm just curious. Maybe you're on the email list.
I don't have I've got printed copies. I've been sending them to Laura Gramlich up in Boonville.
Right.
So I really don't. I'll try to call Warren Long.
Yeah, I didn't know that they were still getting they were getting distributed. I didn't know. I thought it just kind of stopped. So that's interesting to know.
Yeah, I got one. I forgot. It's been 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago.
Oh, wow.
Is it published quarterly or is it monthly?
No, it's periodically.
Periodic.
Well, you ought to see if you can get them to email it to a KOBN email address, and we could post it on our website. I wouldn't mind seeing what it is.
Yeah. That's one of the things I've noticed since leaving is everything's so fragmented.
It almost seems to be as secretive as the Alumni Association.
Well, they have a new president. He's from Dallas, James Hallam.
Yeah.
And he works for Beniki Company, if you're familiar with them. They're the Budweiser distributor, among other things.
But why is everything so fragmented? Because they're like, I like this aspect because this is probably the first time since I graduated, other than keeping in touch with select few people, that I've been able to be involved in something related to being an old boy. So I don't understand why the fragmentation. Why isn't there like just one general group? But I think that's like probably a long story, because I think it's been fragmented more than once.
I don't think Flores's account is set up to actually handle that conversation, because that could go on for the next 3 months. It goes way too deep, way too many things going on.
Either way, I'm grateful that I'm able to connect with, my fellow alum. So
it's a good question. It's a good question, Callie. It's it's one that all of us in the Kemper Old Boy Network have had at one point. And here, just a couple of years ago, we just decided to get together and say, okay, there's all these factions. The school is, it's no longer in existence. There's there is no Kemper Military School. All that we have left is a finite number of old boys or day students or faculty or what have you. And so it was it's a way to keep that network going. We have that one common thing in common, and maybe we can work to further the legacy by giving scholarships or participating in philanthropy that promotes the legacy of Kemper. At the same time,
yeah.
And at the same time, we're able to do things like this. The Alumni Association have a reunion every year, and it's in Missouri. And a lot of us were spread across the world. And it'd be nice to have an organization, a network organization that where we can reach out and do things like this.
So I wish we could find some older old boys.
She got you and Jim.
There's nobody from the 40s.
We had one Jim.
From Boonville.
Yeah, we had one. We had the very first happy hour we had some older ones, but I don't know what years they were from.
Woody's from the 60s, I believe.
60s, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's 20 years after I left.
Yeah, well,
you still win, Jim.
I think a lot of when the Kemper Old Boy Network when we first started, we had quite a bit more Pathfinders, and they were associated with the Echo. At least they were closer to them, and so and since then we kind of dwindled down, and we haven't been able to connect with the Echo group or some of these other groups. But Hallam, I've had some good conversations with Hallam. We understand the differences between our organizations, and so we affirm and we acknowledge that each of our respective organizations, what we do and what we're trying to accomplish, and we're trying to, if there's something that we can help them with, and we're certainly open to it, and if there's something that they can help us with, I think Hallam is pretty much on board with a lot of that. So, and we're not, we don't want to be just another group in Facebook, so that's this is an actual organization. We have we're a nonprofit 501c. We have a charter. We have everything is quote unquote legit. So there's no funny business in terms of having an existing organization. So
Yeah, they had a board meeting up in Oklahoma, and I sent an email to John Downs. I said, I'm close, living in Fort Worth. I'm close to Oklahoma. Can I come to the board meeting and just say hello? And he says, no, it's closed. We've got a lot of business. So I was uninvited to the board meeting.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. We're trying to do something a lot different than that. We want it to be about the network, and we want it to we want everybody to be in touch with everybody. And
yeah, are you on the board of ECHO?
No, not at all. I'm talking about the Kemper Old Boy Network.
Hey guys, I got to step away.
Oh, this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see you, Jim.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Jim. We'll see you.
I'll check back with you if you guys are still on.
Yeah.
Okay.
And another thing, Callie, I don't know if you guys have seen our website, but David Flores is man, he's put a lot into it, a lot of good work, and we're continuing to build it, and we're trying to get as many alumni and folks to get involved with it. So if you get a chance, check out our website. So
I think one of the big things that when we got together originally was discussing that we're a finite group of people. They're not making any more of us, and so to try to separate or fraction anything doesn't make any sense. We need to come together and try to rescue what we have left.
Agreed.
So we certainly appreciate everybody who's come on, especially these last couple that we've had former TAC officers and coaches come on, because that's a real differentiator with our group as well. It's family, friends, and faculty. So keep that in mind for any of our events that come up. So. That's my that's my sales pitch. That's my sales pitch for the
one. It was a really good
Okay. Can you hear me?
Who we got?
It says my microphone's muted.
You're good.
Am I good? Okay.
Yeah, we got you, Jim.
Well, I'm gonna leave you, and I'll watch for your next meeting, because I'll hopefully be there.
All right. It's good seeing you, Jim.
Okay, take care.
Good seeing you. Nice to meet you.
All right. And all you Dallas and Forney people.
And
it looks like we got Brian Farrell coming.
What's up, Dave?
I lived in Dallas 25 years. And got back.
all over. Well, everybody in Texas, everybody in Dallas will all meet up. It'll be fun.
What?
I'll buy you a drink, Jim.
Okay. Very good. See you.
See you later.
Bye.
Well, Brian, we've been at it for about an hour now, but you want to do a little introduction? Tell us a little about yourself for the people that.
Gosh, man, where do I begin? Where do we yeah, I just saw you guys pop up on Facebook. I figured I'd jump on here. But so I was at school. I went to Kemper, 1989 I started, I think, 1990, and then graduated out of the JUCO in 94. Dave, that's when you were there, right? And
I was
then
there 91 to 93.
Yeah, okay, so 93, I was there a year longer, and then got my commission there. I see some other folks in there. And then so live in North Atlanta now, and man, just rocking it. Missing Kemper, hate all the stuff that happened with Kemper, but yeah. Good to see y'all.
Yeah, it's good seeing you, man. Thanks for coming on. A few people have already dropped off, but yeah, I'm glad to see you. Glad to see you join in.
Yeah, I think Simona. I know Simona. She's muted, not her video on.
Are you shitting me?
Hey, how are you doing?
I came back on because I heard Brian Farrell came back on. Are
Hey,
you
there's
on?
Darren.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. Is that you?
That's me, man.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Let's talk about you. How are you doing, brother?
Good, man. I'm full up on nappy for newborn baby diapers now.
Yeah, that's all you, man. Congratulations.
Dude, I waited way late in the game.
You know what? Are you having fun though? Are you happy?
Yeah, man, I love it. It's awesome.
That's all that matters.
It's awesome.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much. So anyone else 89, 90 up to 94? The SAG.
How you doing, Mr. Farrell?
Hey man, what God, SAG Nasty, so help me out on your name. You look familiar.
Sergeant Walker.
You should know.
Holy crap. No way.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Man, I know I look old, but man, I'm feeling like this is crazy. Look at Dave Flores. He didn't look like he's aged a day.
No, right?
Walking the halls of Kemper. Oh my gosh.
So have you kept up with anybody? Brian?
Gosh, you know what?
You were pretty close with Gottfried, weren't you?
I was just going to say Marcus Gottfried and I keep up. I haven't seen him now. I was in Mexico City a couple years ago and stayed at his place. Or actually at his mom's place, and they built a place in Cuernavaca. And then that's Catherine, like I hear from her every 9 to 12 months. But other than that, I haven't kept up with a whole lot of folks really. Every once in a while someone will pop in or hit me up, and like James Brody or somebody, and then yeah, that's about it really.
Hey, it's Killian Weir just popped up. Look at that.
That's funny.
Killian, are you there? I need to hear your voice. Oh, I don't know if he's got his mic on.
Christina, what years were you there? You were there in early 90s, right?
Yeah, I was there 91 through 93. But I also, my brother, Joey Rohr, he was there in high school.
Oh, that's
and so
right.
he
I
was
remember
there
Joey.
the late 90s. And then I think he might've got kicked out early 92, I think. A bunch of them had to go home. There was a big riot in the barracks, and I think he was part of that. I'm not quite sure, but I don't know.
That's hilarious. Someone needs to write a book, all the Kemper stuff that happened. I was telling someone the other day about they were like, what happened now? I'm like, yeah, man, all the guys would get up on, I even forget, it was like D barracks. And then the KGA would do like a show for us or whatever. And we all be up against the window. We're like, that doesn't roll. I'm like, dude, yes. I wish we'd had the TikTok back then or whatever, freaking FaceTime.
No, you don't.
I don't want any of that shit recorded. No,
not needed.
Pictures. Even the pictures I have are so bad, and you're just like, yeah, let's burn that shit.
That's funny.
Mm-mm.
There's a lot of Texas folks on here. It looks like this is like majority Texas group.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Preston Curry was on. He's in San Antonio. He had to leave.
He's still in, isn't he? He's still in the Army, I think, isn't he?
Mm.
Did he say he's not? Is he?
Is he out? Oh,
He's out
that's awesome. It's crazy. Oh, Kevin Smirker. You guys remember him?
Oh yeah.
Keep up with Kevin every now and again. So.
Yeah, he's up. He was my roommate for a little bit there.
Bless your heart.
Who's that?
Oh my gosh.
Who is that? Heath?
Smirker. He was my whipping boy. That was.
He was. I posted. You know who? Oh, you know. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. From Korea. Got Young Chung post a bunch of stuff, but he and I keep up with him a little bit. I didn't get to see him on his last trip over pre-COVID, but he posted a whole bunch of good pictures and videos that he took for a couple of years that like when we started high school and did some stuff.
Okay. Were you in Delta Company or? I was there in 90 through 92, and I started out as a platoon sergeant in Delta Company, and then I was eventually the XO for Delta Company.
I remember that. I forget. I can't. I mean, God, of all my Army years, I don't. I think it was like Delta or Charlie. I forget what I was in.
Okay.
Hiromitsu Kojima was my roommate for a long time. If you guys remember that name, guy. From
Okay, so you were in Charlie Company.
It was a Charlie. Okay.
Yeah, he'd have been in high school when you were there.
Yeah.
I think, right?
Yeah. I remember the name. So.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Smirker. Yeah.
I was there when Delta was the female company. So.
Oh, really? Well, we had
I think I'm the youngest one on the call. I swear, in terms of when I went, like 99, 2000. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You were deadbolting the doors.
No, I fucking wasn't. I tried to keep them open.
I'm not saying you personally. I'm just saying you were helping out.
I mean,
Yeah.
but
The lights
no.
out on the way out.
Yeah.
It was on the way out. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That thing was a dumpster fire long before we got there. We just were there for the end of it. So.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, they had the girls were attached to Echo Company when I was there the first year, and then they started the Kemper Girls Academy, and I think all the girls had to be in the private school part, but they would still come to formations and stuff. So
I think we had 5. It was Echo Company back then.
Darren, you get some. You can almost put that thing in a ponytail.
A little bit. I'm growing it out, man.
I love it. Darren, what have you been doing, man?
Dude, I'm like semi-retired.
Yeah.
Work as like a poker dealer when I can work as a poker dealer. And I'm just like living life right now.
That's awesome.
Hey.
I hear you're dating somebody new.
Yeah, I kind of am. I'm gonna let Christy talk about that if she wants.
Somebody's blushing over there.
A little bit.
That's awesome, man. Good for y'all. It's been
a long.
Well, folks, hey, it's been nice. So y'all take care, okay?
See you, Reggie.
See you, Reggie.
And I've got to jump myself. Well, thanks for calling in, everybody.
Yeah, I do too. I'll leave the call going, but I got to head out too.
On that note.
On that note, and then I just got my tequila. Come on, guys. It's like National Tequila Day, is it not?
That's a day late for that. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I did that last night too. So I mean,
Okay.
Well, I can't wait until the next call, so we'll schedule it sometime next month.
It'll be good.
Okay.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Good
Bye. Nice to meet everybody.
You cool
Okay.
kitties.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later, cool kitties. Maybe.
Yeah. Who's staying?
All right, take it easy, Callie. Good seeing you.
It's good to see you too. Where's our people?
I don't know where they are. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe we should focus on trying to bring a few more of those people in. I guess everybody's pretty busy, but they only do this once a month. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Saturdays it's kind of hard. You know, I think it's a little bit easier, maybe like a weeknight, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if there's actually a real good time because Sundays is my fun day, you know. I mean, I'm never inside. So yeah, Saturday I'm usually working and then I can squeeze this in. I really wanted to be last week and I was on the way back from North Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
I was up there, don't fucking ask me. But I mean, it was just like one of those things like I've been to Fargo before, but I've never actually been into North Dakota. But I had an old Army buddy that was getting married and I drove all the way up there for his wedding. And I was like, on the way back, you know, you're not really feeling the best after a wedding anyway. And I was like, dude, I could really have something to occupy my time right now. And I thought the phone call was supposed to be last weekend, but it wasn't. So that was sad.
when it popped up and I was like, oh shit. And I was out. So I ran home to like get on the call and stuff like that. And I was, cause I missed it like the first 2 or 3 times and I felt really bad. But like I said, I didn't know the difference between like Echo or whatever the fuck that is. And then Kemper alum. And then this, I thought this was like a good venue to like be able to connect with everybody. So.
Yeah. I think there are like a lot of split factions or whatever. And I mean, whatever it is. I think it would cover too many years and too broad of a spectrum for like everybody to get under one banner. And
no,
beyond that, there's everybody had a difference of opinion of what could happen, and all that other stuff. And
everybody does. It's Anyway,
but I will say, I go to the reunion every October, and
because Waddell and Testa went, and they said it was just okay.
Yeah, a couple of years ago. It depends where you go and who you hang out with and what you're doing. I never really get too involved with the organized activities. I may do there, but I'm usually just hanging around buddies that. Yeah.
Early's daughter moved down to Houston, was working in the med center for a while. I don't know if she's still there, but I connected with him on that a while back. But haven't heard anything or seen anything from Hopkins, Palkovic, because when I went to junior college, Palkovic lived across from my room.
So Mary Arden.
Yeah.
I can't remember if she was in contact with Palkovic. I think Dobbin said he's up in New England somewhere, like Connecticut or New Hampshire or something like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember if Mary told me that or if it was Dobbins or somebody, but I don't know. I don't remember who it was, but yeah.
It'd be nice to continue to kind of grow this a little bit more and have some of those people, like reach out to some of those people. Like I reached out to Arden today, but maybe kind of see what that brings, because I'm sure the stories would get even better.
I'm sure too. And I'm sure if I like what Dave Flores actually did as far as the network's concerned. He's just trying to build a social networking platform to where people are just, it's easier to contact each other, I guess. So.
Absolutely. Like 100%. And Facebook is kind of like, it's iffy, a lot of people try to move on the platform, but yeah.
Well, and some people, I don't know. I mean, there's some people that hold strong resentments to Kemper and everything like that, but whatever. It is what it is. I'm not going to.
Yeah, no, we shouldn't, because we're still being recorded.
Yeah. That and, I'm not going to change any life altering. Yeah, I'm not going to change somebody's
join, have a drink, say hello, remember all the things that you would never remember if you were just by yourself. Like there are so many things, like even just the smell or like certain areas, rooms, like I wouldn't have remembered sneaking into like Echo Company if I wouldn't be talking to other people from Kemper. Like you just don't remember half the shit. It's just weird. So it's nice to connect.
I gotta look at something.
But you're doing well.
I am, and you?
Yeah. Now I have a Spitfire redheaded daughter.
Right on. Making poor life choices. So.
She's got a mouth on her, and I don't know where she gets it. So.
I have 2 soulless ginger boys myself, and let me tell you, it's always something going on around here. That's for sure.
Exactly.
You're right with the stories. I was just thinking. I remember in the summertime it used to get so hot, and this must have been like in '97 or something. But I can't remember what I was doing at the time. But we used to sneak into the teachers' lounge or like the faculty lounge. This girl, I want to say she was dating Rob Olson, which was a buddy of mine that graduated in '98 or something. But
I knew his name.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think her name was like Rachel Manzer or something. I can't remember what her name was or who she was. But we used to open the refrigerator and like stick our heads in there and lay down on the ground and just let that cold air fall on us because it was so flipping hot, like in July and stuff. I mean, it was something ridiculous, but it was. Yeah, it's just those little things, like you said, those memories. You're like, oh yeah, I remember it was so ridiculously hot. We couldn't cool anywhere. So yeah.
Exactly. Good times. Well, I will do my best to join the next one. Hopefully we'll get some more people on there and stay in contact. This is awesome.
Yeah.
It was really cool in your face. I think like I have memories from you. Like I would be, was it like we would be in the D barracks and we'd be yelling across the way to echo.
Yeah,
like in
probably.
the window, we'd communicate, whether it was like Baldwin and Catherine and you and Marietta or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
those are crazy.
Yeah, with
That's the
those
thing.
window rooms right there. Yeah, and Jackson was actually.
So, I ended up getting those when I was an old boy, so it was
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
It's a long time
Good
ago.
time.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's things it dates us. So.
Exactly. Old as fuck. Like 100%. It's all good though.
Yeah.
All right, my friend. Well, have a good rest of the day, and I will check in with you in a month.
All right. Sounds good. Take care.
All right. Cheers. Bye.